Hey guys, so as you know, we can't use Stripe in Sri Lanka. They don't support us officially. So if you go to Google and search payment gateways in Sri Lanka, you're gonna come up with these results. And there's a very good article from Simple Books. They also have a video as well. So they have gone through a lot of options and given us a table. But you can go and try whether anything fits you. But personally, I didn't find anything that fits me. The only service that I found which was okay is to checkout. So if you go to checkout, now to checkout is acquired by some other company, and also I couldn't really find a proper documentation as well. Maybe they have like a developer portal or something like that, but it was a little frustrating me to go through everything and like figure it out. Then I searched a little bit and I found a solution called Paddle. So it's paddle.com, and so the main thing that we have to check is whether they actually support Sri Lanka officially, right? So let's search paddle.com supported countries. So you can go to this website. So let's go to all of these two links, So supported countries, if you search Sri Lanka, you can see Sri Lanka is in the list, which is a good thing. And also, if you go to this link, so they actually have a list that they don't support. So Sri Lanka is not in this list, so that's a very good thing. So we can basically use this software. So the second thing that you have to check is whether they actually want you to pay before using it, right? If you go to paddle.com pricing, you can see that you have to pay 5% plus 50 cents per checkout transaction, which is pretty okay. They have a notice here as well. If you are selling products under $10 or require invoicing, contact us. But this thing looks pretty solid. Okay, so with that being said, let's see how we can actually implement this thing. Let me draw a few components that we might have in a system. So we have our main front end. Then we need to have our payments UI as well, right? So this is the UI. Basically users add their credit card informations and everything. So we have that UI within our main application, something like this. Then we have our backend. Then we have our database. Then we have paddle.com API, right? So these are the basic components that we can think there can be in a typical system. So let's see where to find these components in paddle.com. In terms of the UI, they have an npm package, not this thing. Yeah, they have an npm package, and this is the component that basically handles everything when it comes to user inputs. This is the component that users add their credit card information and connect PayPal or Google or Apple payments. And we don't have to deal with any of those things, just like Stripe. The example that they have given is only for React, but probably you can implement this thing with other frameworks as well, because it seems like to be a package where you can integrate with other frameworks too. So that's that. Then users will basically come into the platform and enter their information here, and those information will be forwarded to their API. And if the payment is successful, or even if it's not, you can set up some webhooks and get a call to your backend. Then after that, you can update your own database, right? This is the usual flow. I actually forgot to add a very critical component in the backend, which is the signature verification. So the idea is that you should be able to verify whether this request is actually coming from paddle.com, because this endpoint is an exposed one. Anyone can use it, right? So you want to make sure that this thing is coming from paddle.com only. Otherwise, anyone can send a request to our backend and mark themselves as a pro user, right? That's a really bad thing. So we want to make sure that this thing is in place for sure. Let me show you guys where to find this information as well. Go to Google and search for paddle.com docs, then go to developer.paddle.com, and in here you can see we have webhooks. Under that we have verify signatures. So in here basically they describe how to do the verification by ourselves, and they actually haven't given us any course to do it, and I couldn't find any libraries as well, I mean official libraries as well. But if you search for paddle.com signature verification GitHub, not this thing. Yeah, I believe it's this one. I actually don't remember exactly, but I will put the link down below. So basically you can use a third-party package like this. So they actually show us how to integrate this with Express. Basically what you have to do is, so you have your webhook in place, then you send you have your public key and whatnot, and you send your request body that you get to this particular function that this library has given us, and it does basically take care of the verification. Just want to make sure guys that they actually, paddle.com, they actually have two APIs. One of them is classic. So in this case you can see it is the Paddle billing. This is the new one, and there's another one called Paddle Classic. So I actually haven't used this thing, Paddle Classic, and I actually don't know how it works. Probably the same thing but with different API calls and stuff like that. So when you do the verification as well, just make sure that you are using a code that is written for the new version. Otherwise it won't work, and you will have a broken verification process otherwise. So just want to make sure that is there. I will try to put the link down below so you guys can follow it up. That's pretty much it about their UI and webhook implementation. Let's take a look at their API. So if you go to API reference, you can basically then again just make sure that you have right version selected here. And if you go through this thing, you can see, let's say, so you can get a subscription. For example, if you pass subscription ID, you can get all the details. Probably you're gonna need a few of them in your application, because you want to get, let's say, when you have the subscription in place, you want to actually generate a link that user can go and unsubscribe, right? Or pause. This API actually supports all of those things, so you can just go through and see what you can do there. So guys, I think I covered it briefly. This is not a very descriptive tutorial or anything like that, but I just wanted to introduce this thing that I recently found, which is really helpful. So I hope you guys learned something. See you guys.